Lately, it seems as though the world's two wealthiest billionaires can't seem to get enough of each other. Amazon's former CEO Jeff Bezos and Tesla CEO Elon Musk run their own private aerospace companies, which have had quite a few arguments in the past few years. Musk founded SpaceX, the 19-year-old spaceflight company with nearly 10,000 employees. As for Bezos, Blue Origin is a 21-year-old company with 3,500 employees. And recently, there has been quite a bit of tension between the two companies, with a bit of Richard Branson tossed into the mix. If you're not too familiar with the billionaire space race, the lovingly named battle between the billionaires, welcome. This complicated mess of legal ordeals, rivalries, smear campaigns, and lawsuits is really something to be amazed by. The thing is, there's quite a bit more than just bickering. We're talking multi-billion-dollar contracts, rights to use Apollo era launch platforms, and much more. So what exactly is going on between SpaceX and Blue Origin? Well, the answer is kind of complicated. Think 15 years, billions of dollars in funding, tons of lawsuits, and multiple government agencies. Of course, there's a lot more, so we'll start with the 2000 and 2002 launches of Blue Origin and SpaceX. Blue Origin was founded in 2000, after the successful initial public offering of Amazon 3 years earlier, which had given young Bezos enough money to reach for the stars. A similar thing happened with Musk 2 years later, when the multimillionaire used his recent $160 million PayPal profits to create SpaceX. Nothing really happened for a few years until a 2004 dinner between Musk and Bezos. Apparently, the two had actually met to discuss the future of reusable rockets when Musk offered Bezos some unwanted advice. Following his best to give good advice, Bezos got fed up and the two split ways. Nothing really happened until 2013, when the famous LC-39A launch platform became available for leasing. LC-39A, officially known as Launch Complex 39, was the Floridian platform where the Apollo moon missions were launched. Almost immediately after leasing was available, SpaceX and Blue Origin lined up to lease the platform. After a bit of fighting, SpaceX ended up winning the lease pretty quickly, although it seemed too easy to Blue Origin. Bezos' company almost immediately filed a lawsuit in court against SpaceX's lease, which inevitably failed. Blue Origin settled with renting LC-36, a nearby launch complex known for the mid-1960s Atlas launches. While that encounter had come to an end as soon as it started, it created something a bit longer lasting: the Blue Origin and SpaceX rivalry. Things very quickly sped up. While Musk and Bezos hadn't publicly talked for 9 years between their 2004 dinner and the 2013 lease suit, it took just 1 year for another fight.
Jeff who?
This time, Blue Origin was the aggravator. The company held patents on the process of landing rockets aboard seaborne ships, which SpaceX filed suit against in 2014. Just like the first lawsuit, Musk won very quickly, invalidating the patents later that year. See, the company had been attempting to land rockets on ships at sea earlier that same year, although it took them to 2016 before they successfully managed it. Even still, Blue Origin waited until 2018 to begin retrofitting the Jacqueline, a 183-meter cargo ship. They haven't even finished the refit, though, with Blue Origin saying it'll be ready for the 2022 New Glenn landing. So, after a 9-year gap in communication between the two billionaires, it took just 1 year for things to heat up with 2 lawsuits. And still, SpaceX was on the winning side of both suits. However, things just got whiny between the two companies, with the 2015 Twitter argument. After Blue Origin's New Shepard landed after a suborbital flight, Musk and Bezos' companies got into a debate over the definition of a used, landed, and space rocket. Since New Shepard had technically landed following a spaceflight, it was suborbital, so SpaceX argued it was not a space rocket. Blue Origin argued back, and ta-da! A literal textbook definition debate. Literally, definitions. It was made worse since SpaceX's Falcon 9 prototype Grasshopper had flown and landed multiple times, and Blue Origin claimed it wasn't a space rocket. Both companies argued that each other's suborbital flight and landing wasn't a space flight, while also arguing theirs was. And things finally settled. Well, until the month-long silence was broken after SpaceX's Falcon 9 first-stage satellite launch ended in a successful landing. That was because more Twitter arguments showed up, with things like Bezos' December tweet saying, "Welcome to the club." This caught many people's attention. Luckily, things calmed down until a few months down the road in mid-2016, Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin announced the New Glenn, a Falcon Heavy competitor. Now that wouldn't really be that bad of anything, as the companies are directly competing. Well, if it weren't for the fact that Bob Smith, who became Blue Origin's CEO in late 2017, was told that the rocket would be ready by 2020. It wasn't. Smith ended up going on record saying that Q4 2022 was the earliest that they could possibly have the rocket ready. Not 2020, not 2021, but 2022. After that, estimates started rolling out for 2023, even 2024 and beyond. That's really where the controversy comes in. Jeff Bezos knew that Blue Origin didn't have anything near a finished product, but still announced New Glenn that early, just for publicity's sake, and to one-up SpaceX. We now know that Bezos' 2016 New Glenn announcement was utterly wrong. As it turns out, it was an entire program named New Armstrong, designed to build long-term colonies on the moon for humans, with eventual plans for Mars. The thing is, that sounds a bit like Elon Musk's interplanetary transport system, which was revealed at the exact same 2016 International Astronautical Congress meeting. The ITS also happens to be envisioned to bring humans to the moon and to build long-term colonies, with part of it eventually evolving into Starship and its Mars goal. And finally, things were quiet. Sure, there was a bit of bickering and smack talk on Twitter, but that was actually all. No real multi-billion-dollar competing campaigns, significant launches, or definition fights. Just peace. Until 2021 rolled around. Blue Origin sued the United States government after a close fight for a $2.9 billion NASA contract, which SpaceX won. As part of NASA's Human Lander System, or HLS program, the agency offered $2.9 billion in contracts to develop a working system. SpaceX had what NASA considered to be the best technical solution, as well as the one with a far lower bid. So, the agency awarded the entire contract to SpaceX. The thing is, Blue Origin didn't like that. Not one bit. Alongside Dynetics, a company that lost out entirely on the contract, Blue Origin filed protests against the award with the Government Accountability Office. Arguing that NASA's logic for awarding the contract was flawed, Bezos was shut down quickly. The GAO argued back that nothing happened, the teams just lost. However, that July rejection didn't last long. In August, Blue Origin filed a lawsuit against the United States government in an attempt to remedy the flaws in the acquisition process found in NASA's Human Landing System. Blue Origin argued that there were issues in NASA's judgment that were monopolistic, unfair, and unsafe. Ironically, Bezos also mentioned that he would cover up to $2 billion in NASA costs out of his own large stock wallet if they gave Blue Origin the contract. I don't know about you, but that sounds a bit uncompetitive, unfair, and unsafe to me. However, to back up Bezos' point, Blue Origin released a graphic detailing the immensely complex and high-risk nature of the lunar starship. It even mentions lunar starship's 16 Starship and Super Heavy launches, which would require 13 12-day refuels. For reference, that's 156 days of refueling and 14 more launches than Musk and SpaceX have mentioned. According to Musk, SpaceX's Starship would require just 4 tanker launches, thanks to a lighter vehicle and greater efficiency. Nonetheless, that didn't stop Blue Origin from releasing multiple graphics to help convince the public of SpaceX's truly evil and nearly half-a-year-long refueling process. While it hasn't really done anything, Blue Origin's lawsuit has, for now. NASA has not been able to award virtually anything to SpaceX, especially not the $2.9 billion previously awarded. Ironically, though, Bezos got his wish. Blue Origin earned the 4th highest amount from NASA's newest fixed-price awards, $25.6 million. So, what do you think? Will SpaceX and Blue Origin's rivalry ever end? Can we even classify this as a rivalry if it's just Blue Origin suing the government and SpaceX waiting for Bezos to stop? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and check out some of our other videos to get caught up before Blue Origin's lawsuit ends. Don't worry, it's not a trick to keep you watching our videos forever. Bezos will probably give up after a year or so. Probably.